Garbage teammates, eh? Well, this is going to be a tough video because that's not me. I don't fit any of the boxes I'm about to talk about, and sure, you might be thinking, oh, Ragtag, you can't even stop your teammates from noping the heck out of there as soon as they saw your useless name in the lobby. Then you might accuse me of being in some kind of denial, but I'm not. That's a bug. I hit that aircraft platform. I know I did because I was there when I did it. I'm just the unluckiest player that you'll ever meet. Alright there, my name's Ragtag and I'm the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth, and today I'd like to talk about garbage teammates. And as those words tumble carelessly out of my mouth, many of you may nod and say, oh yeah, those oxygen thieving scumbags who took away my precious recreational time by being about as useful as a porcupine in a balloon factory. Those bumbling buffoons who weren't there when I needed them most. Those pathetic losers who cost me a clutch victory by leaving me on the floor, beaten, humiliated and alone because they had a better idea, a better plan, an IQ 9000 big brainstorm bonanza that involved being somewhere other than where they were supposed to be. Now first up, before we get to the crux of this problem, let's take a moment to recognise the matchmaking for quick play in Apex Legends is seemingly random and without care, because the sheer amount of games where you, sitting with maybe a level 400 account or higher, you find yourself with a level 3 nublet called Cecil or whatever, who's literally no clue what they're doing whatsoever, and of course they then picked a legend that you've got 2,000 kills on, and that makes it a lot worse. But that's not really the problem here. The problem is that you're wondering why the gods of the matchmaking saw fit to crap all over your hopes of having a half-decent game on this beautiful battle royale. And whilst it does feel like a kick in the plums to roll Snake Eyes with a low-level squad hindering that smooth ride to the top 3, perhaps the game is making an attempt to match you with others at your skill level or your actual level, but maybe it's at the mercy of who queued exactly at that same time on your region. So it tries to sort it out and then just YOLOs with what it can. Or maybe it truly is random, but that's not good enough in the eyes of the players who have got to deal with it. And I've read about people who just leave the game straight away the moment they realise that they have queued solo into 2 lobbies. But that's not going to work in Season 3 unless they want to suck up the bans that will definitely be implemented. It's been threatened for a long time, but now's the time to take note of those early game exits, because they can get banned for up to a week. Anyway, that's not to say that it isn't infuriating. Now, I regularly queue up with a real-life mate of mine who lives about 20 minutes from my place, and he's a former CSGO player who reached global elite rank. And I mention this because the way that CSGO players speak to each other is, well, spirited. And my buddy Zoom is actually one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet on the street. In-game, however...
I don't know. This is not good.
What? Are you fucking serious? What kind of a horrible fucking shite is this? Can't shoot.
I'm running.
Oh, what? And it kills me as well.
Yeah, man.
Fuck this game in the fucking vagina. Stupid the fucking game. What the fuck is this game? Absolute fucking bullshit. What the f*** are you strafing, you f***ing cunt?
So we played quite a lot of just normal quick play games that night and kept queuing into low rank players or low level players, and yeah, they didn't go that well. So when it came to crunch time nearing the end of this particular game, we were definitely feeling the weight of our third random.
Well, I just fucking up. Where are you?
I knocked one.
Oh, he's behind you. Awesome. The other guys are like up there at the far end. Should we go get them? I broke all their armor.
Fucking one of them, mate. One. Oh, he's trying to res. Help.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck is that gun?
They got me as well.
Mate, come on, help you fucking fat cunt. Oh my fucking god, you're fucking shite.
Oh god!
doing 88 damage. Report that, cunt. You shouldn't even be in this fucking team, mate.
Mate, honestly.
Fucking cretin, man. Fucking absolute fat cunt.
Can't believe it.
I cannot fucking believe this. What's this, the eco lover? Go I'm gonna shit on your planet, you cunt.
Now, the thing about our teammate wasn't that they were throwing. I don't think that for a minute. It was just a relatively new player. They were level 13, not very quick off the mark, and we had been painfully dragging them around with us for that 15-minute game. And I can count on one hand the amount of times Zoom has actually lost the plot and spoken to a random player in team voice. And if I still had any hopes left for my own competitive abilities, I would be pretty annoyed as well. But that situation brought about this video, because I think there needs to be a clear distinction in how we see teammates in general. So getting put with a nublet, you know, that does suck compared to having a competent random. So in some ways it's easy just to say, you know, suck it up or get a third for a pre-med if you can't deal with the prospect of carrying a new player. But most people would probably agree they'd prefer just to have some form of MMR applied to all modes. However, if you shove that to one side and think about ranked or maybe just quick play lobbies where you see that you've been matched with other players who have several thousand kills on their tracking badge, but still you find them utter trash, as if they were somehow boosted and they're about as useful as a, I don't know, like a transparent wrapping paper. Anyway, everywhere you go, forums, comment sections of videos, you'll see these memed responses such as, "Oh, I'd be Apex Predator if it weren't for my teammates, haha!" And the reason this is such a popular comment is because of the ironic duality of it all. On the one hand, we constantly think that we're getting dealt the unluckiest hand in like game after game, but on the other, deep down, we know that most of us can barely carry our own skills, so our teammates had better step the hell up and match our efforts. Otherwise, they are pure street gutter trash, smelly, crusty, stained, hot, oozing, bubbling garbage. I remember seeing a comment before where someone was complaining about his squad, and this guy was like, "Yes, I'm sick of crap teams. Last night I dropped into the pit hot, and the pathetic Octane broke off and went to the next zone, leaving me and my pal to fight two squads. Lucky for us, one squad ran away, but the other stayed, and we died 2v3. If that selfish prick hung around, we'd have won the match, but we had to sit and watch him get our banners back only to be sniped by a Kraber." And then, oh my god, my voice. And then I saw another comment a week later about people who break off. And this guy was saying things like, "I'm sick of losers who don't use free look when dropping, end up landing later than other squads to certain areas, and I'm not gonna die without a gun in my hand, so I'm gonna break off to the next zone, gear up, and then run back to my team. And usually they'd be dead by then." Now imagine if those two players that just commented separately were actually in the same squad at one point, but both came out thinking that the other were completely freaking useless. And therein lies the flaw in the masses of our gaming world. We, the people, believe we're putting 100% into our games and that our teammates, when they don't follow the plan, well, what is the plan? Well, the other night I was streaming and I was solo queuing as my usual, but I solo queued into a duo pre-made and they were the run and hide sort, you know, like a slow wind up sort of game. The sort of game I absolutely hate, and I just don't play battle royales in general because of it. And we had a pathfinder, so there was zip lining onto the buildings, little rock edges on the hills and things like that. My style though is, you hear gunfire, you run towards it and you get your loot from the cold dead fingers of your enemies. But these guys, they had no interest in that and they just wanted to survive and snipe. But I just had no idea how to help them, because when they took a stand and they perched on this little ledge, it felt like suicide to go up there, because there'd be multiple opportunities for an enemy team to rotate on top of us and box us in, because that's what I would do if I saw two people sitting on the ledge. So I didn't stay with them, and I got popped. And then it's easy to say, man, cowardly losers who want to hide on the hill, they didn't help me. But it's easy for them to say, hip-fighting adrenaline junkie loser got caught out in the open with his pants down. Now the real trouble is that we as players, I just don't think we're adaptive enough. Some people loot slower, some people loot faster, some people loot fast and miss a whole lot of important stuff right in front of their eyes. Yeah, that's me. I particularly enjoy reading my YouTube comments, by the way, to see those ones that say, "You missed the barrel stabilizer at 2 minutes 05. Oh really? Oh really? Oh really? I never noticed that while I sat and edited this video all freaking day. But yeah, we all see this game differently, and our poor suffering ego often needs someone to blame when it all goes wrong. If you tried your best, but you whiffed a few shots, surrendered good positioning, or you didn't hear someone running up behind your a-hole, that's alright, because your goddamn lifeline didn't respond to the ping of the enemy, or take your portal, or drop the healing drone when you needed it. It's not your fault, mate. It's your random loser teammates. Now, this is something that I have realised recently that I have been guilty of as well, so I'm trying to stick a new idea into my own games. And in Season 3, my recommendation for you is to watch your own squad in a different way. See how long it takes them to loot. Don't instantly jump to the conclusion that they've ruined your day because they didn't do more to help your cause. And everyone's got shit going on in their head when combat comes around. Maybe in the example where both Zoom and I got popped earlier, me going around the back to flank that guy was the wrong idea because it meant he had to fight us one at a time. It doesn't matter though. What matters is that we ping intentions. You keep an eye on how aggressive your squad is prepared to be, and either accept that sometimes you're rushing in alone, or you grab a longbow and head for the building tops. And once you've made the decision of whatever you're going to do, live with it. And if you can't carry doing things your way, then just accept it. You're a bag of shite. And if you can carry, but then you whiff a few shots, then see my point earlier about accepting aggression levels not being matched. So if this game is full of different player types, you have to start attaching risks to forcing those who aren't prepared to approach the game in the same way that you do. So once you accept those risks, you can either YOLO or adapt, but either way, suck it up, shut your fucking mouth, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out my second channel as well, and follow me on Twitter. And do you know what? Just make me a bigger part of your life, because I'm kind of a big deal in Loserville. Later. What do you reckon? Yeah.
Did you fall down?
It's not the fact that I fell, it's how I fell. Certainly. Oh, shit!